Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing good. So today we'll be learning how to make this cut. Is this cut? Yes, cut is skirt and short, so it's cut. So I'll be drafting it out on a pattern paper. I'm going to draft out the short part. I already have a video on how to make a short, but I'll be taking you guys because I still want people to grab. So first thing is to take off your band. Take off your band and get your length. That's the length of your short. So here I'm going to use 18 inches because I don't want it to come out really short. I'm going to use 18 inches as my length, then extra 2 inches for the folding allowance, that is the hemming allowance. So you just mark it out and extend the lines very well. So the next thing again is to also take off your band to get your hip location. Here if it's a normal palazzo trouser, I normally use 10 inches, but here because it's a short and all that, I'm using 9.5 inches. Please, if your hip or you are taller, you can still use that 10 inches. So I use 9.5 inches. So the next thing is also off the band to get your crouch location. So your crouch is your hip divided by 4. Mine is 44 divided by 4 is 11. So I added extra 1 inch, or you can just add half inch. So the next thing is to get your your hip measurement. I got my hip measurement, they added 1.5 inches allowance. Then after that, you get your crouch extension. Your crouch, that is your hip, that 44 divided by 4, you get 11. Then that 11 again divided by 4, whatever you have will be crouch your crouch extension. So you just place it there and give it a little curve. Don't curve it too much. The next thing is to measure from your hip to your crouch, the total amount you have there. You just place it and divide it by 2. The next thing, from the crouch line, I went up by 3 inches, just to that is where I'm going to take my thigh measurement, or you can just take your thigh on your you can take your thigh on your crouch line. So the next thing is to measure your lower waist. After measuring it, I added 2.5 inches allowance, or 2 inches, because it has an elastic waist. So you just have to add enough allowance for it to fit very well. So you just connect the line, then you measure around your thighs divide by 2. Whatever you have, you add 1 inch allowance. Then you, whatever you have, you add 1 inches allowance, then also divide that what it will give you. Like if it's 12 that you got, you just have to add 1, then divide that one, make it 13, then divide that 13 by 2 again, because you are going to share it between 2 laps, that is between 2 ties. So that is it. Just extend the lines, then draw it. So this is what you have. Then extend the lines very well. So you don't have to make this straight. If you are covering this part, you just have to take it to that your length, the 18 inches length, then you slant it to meet your hemming allowance. That is the folding allowance. You are going to slant it. Please don't leave it straight unless you run shortage. So I'm just making sure that the line is complete. So from my length, I'll connect it slantly to meet the hemming allowance. So this is it. Please watch my video on how to make a detail. I made a detailed video. I have a detailed video on how to make this. So you just measure to know that everything is correct, then you cut it out. Look how I'm going to cut it out. Please, your crowd shouldn't be so curvy, just make it slantly or slanted. So this is it. I don't slant my front. So this is it. If you follow this process, we are going to make a nice short. So look at it. This is why I slanted it. You not run shortage. If you take it straight, you run shortage. So if you have been making your short like that, you just have to stop it. So the next thing now is to draft the skirt part. You are doing all this on a pattern paper, especially this skirt part. You just have to draft it on a pattern paper. So you still remove your 2 inches band, my 2 inches band, then you get the same length. My length is 18, but I added 1.5 inches folding allowance because I don't want to fold it too big. So I added 1.5 inches instead. So the next thing now is to draft your waistline, where you start taking your measurement from. So after drafting it, I went down by that is my full length, that is 18 inches. I added extra 1.5 inches allowance. The next thing is to get your hip location. Normally I would have used 8 as my hip location, but this short, I use 9.5 inches for the short. So here I'm using 9 inches as my hip location here, so that it will be on the same line with the short. that that is it. So this is it. You just have to, I made it 8 before, but I said no, I had to like extend it down. I had to like use 9 inches instead of 8 inches. So you just draw the lines very well. So you still take your the same waist and hip measurement, whatever you have on that short, that is what you should have there. So measure your total hip, then minus 1 inch is there, or you can just leave it that way. So this is what you will have. You have something like this, and you don't need to slant the skirt part. Also, you don't have to slant it. So once you are done, you just cut it out. Please, if you are cutting this skirt part, it should be on fold. Even if on this thing, especially on your pattern paper, it should be on fold. So the next thing now is to slant the line, to slant the skirt, because it's slanted. So from that hip part now, I went in by 3 inches. Then there's no other measurement, you just connect it slantly. That is what you should that is what you need to do from that edge. So once you have it like this, just cut it out and the skirt part is ready. So this is how the skirt part will look. This is how it's going to look. So from that part, I went up by ½ inch or 1 inch, just to give it a little slant. I want that place to be shorter than the main length. So this is what you should have after slanting it. So this is it. This is the skirt part. Is it's ready. So the next thing now is to draft the top. I just wanted to draft only the skirt, but I said let me add the top also. So you should just get your starting line, then take your shoulder line, just draft your basic top, just the normal way you draft your top. So that is my starting line and everything. I got the middle of my shoulder, I got my round bust measurement. I added 2 inches allowance because I don't want it to be really tight on me. Then I connected my armhole curve. So the next thing is to take your lower waist measurement also. Then I added 2 inches allowance because I don't want it doesn't have any tat, and I don't want it to be too tight on the waist. So once that is ready and set, I went up by, from the down part, I went up by 5 inches. That's to connect the belt. You know, it has something like belt. So I'll just trim it out to, so that I'll have enough what I'm going to add. So you just trim it out and add come to the side that is on fold. If it's your top, that place should be on fold. So you just place it like that, go up by 5 inches or 7 inches. I later went up by 7 inches. Now it now determine how long you want your belt to be. I used 30 up to 30 inches. So from that 5 inches or 7 inches or whatever amount you feel like going up with, it depends on how bold you want your belt to be. So I'm going to connect it this way. So this is where, so I want the boldness of my belt to be 3.5 inches. After turning in with lining, I will have like 3 inches or 2.5 inches. So you just connect it slantly. That is how you are going to achieve the belt part. You know, if you check very well, check the thumbnail, you'll notice that there's a belt, a wrap belt. So this is how you are going to achieve it. So you get your neck width. It has a color. So I'm using 2.5 inches neck width. The front depth is 3 inches, then the back depth is 1 inch. So you just connect it, then connect your shoulder slope, and we are done. So this is what you should have for the front. The back is just your normal back. It doesn't have a slit or anything. So it doesn't have a slit or anything. So this is how I'm going to cut it out. This is it. So I'll try and cut out the place slightly. So this is, I'll cut out the neckline. Cut out the neckline. So please, that place that is bold, it should just have half inches there. I wanted to use a button stamp, but I later changed my mind, so you just leave half inch for your folding allowance. So this is the material that I'm going to be using. It's just 2 years. It's just what I use for this tutorial is 2 years. So if you're making yours, I just advise you, because you need to use it to turn the the neckline and the other parts. So you should just have 3 inches, but if you want to manage and add other fabric for the turning, then you can use 2 years. So this is what I have. Just place it on fold. Please, if you're cutting the front parts, make sure that your fabric is on fold. So you place it this way. The belt, this part, this material will not really give me the length of my belt, so I'm going to be adding something to that point, to the remaining part. So you just place it like this and cut it out. Cut exactly what you have. So you cut the neckline. So the place I brought out 2.5 2 inches button stand, I had to like trim it off. I had to remove it. So this is what you should have. Then your top length, you should determine the top length that you want. I use 18 inches as my top length. Then I added extra 1 inch for the folding allowance. So this is what you should have. After cutting everything, you should have something like this. So this is it. When you notch it, when you knot it, this is what this here is going to look. So this is it. This is it. 2 years I'm making it. So I'll remove this part to use it and cut the back part. Exactly what you have. Just remove the belt part, remove that half inch, and cut exactly what you have. Remember that I didn't cut the front neckline before doing this. So I placed to check if this will give me the skirt. Please, when you are cutting your skirt, the right part, the right side should face up. Then the wrong side should be down. The right side should be down. So this is how I placed it. Especially if it's on your left side. If the skirt is going to slant on your left side, please, this is how you should cut it. Don't place it on fold. You have to open it up. It has to be open. It has to be like this, and the right side should be facing up. Please, it should not be on fold. If you want to get the slanted line, you should not place it on fold. So you just do it and cut exactly what you have here. Cut exactly the same thing. So this is the skirt part. You can line it if you have a lining that will match it, or or use the same fabric, but I don't have enough fabric. So the next thing that is to cut the back. So cut the back. I added one extra 1.5 inches allowance to the top part, so I'm still going to do the same thing to the front part. So I'm still going to do the same thing. I added it to the length so that I can get the top length. This is it. So I'll just cut exactly the same thing, exactly what you have. So after cutting it, I'll now cut the front neckline and the armhole. So I'll bring back the front, place it to make sure that everything is equal. I'll place it very well, then cut out the neckline. That is it, guys. Like, the front is ready and the back is ready. So we'll just try from the pieces now to cut the sleeve and the pocket. It has a pocket, so we'll just try our best to cut it now. So this is the front, the back part. Remember that I didn't show the back part or how to cut it, but this is the back part. So when you place your front, you go out the back crouch, the back crouch extension. I used 1.5 inches, then I added 1.5 inches to the waist, then to the hip. That was, please see my video on how to make it short. You get how I made this back. So the next thing now is to cut out the pocket, because if you check it very well, the skirt part, even the part that went to the right hand has a pocket. Even the pocket extended to the skirt also. The skirt is going to have a pocket, but it will be a joint pocket with the shorts. So watch how I'm going to achieve that. The pocket is 12 inches long on fold and 7 inches wide on fold. This is on fold, so you are going to have two pieces for the pocket. So this is what I have left. I said I've cut out one pocket. I said let me cut out one sleeve, so if we are running shortage you will know what to do. So I used my sleeve. I got my sleeve length is 9 inches. I added extra 1 inches for the hemming allowance. Then I took my armhole measurement, which is 12.75. Then I went down by 4 inches, then drew my I connected my slant. I used my slant curve, then measured it to get it. So this place doesn't have any measurement, the down part, so I just connected it straight that way. That is how I want the sleeve to be, just a free normal sleeve. So this is it. I'll place it again to cut another sleeve. That's for the two sleeve. I had to make it short like this so that I'll be able to like have enough space to cut out two sleeve and also cut a pocket. So this is the two sleeves. The two sleeves are ready. So I'll have to join the second pocket. I'll have to join some pieces. So this is the front part. This is the front part. It's two pieces for the front part. You get it. Then from the waist part you go down by 7 inches or 6.5 inches. So from that waist part also you go in by 2 inches. And this is the pocket. This is I'm just trying to give the down part a slant curve. You can go up by 1 inches, then curve it. So if you have something like this and you have the two pockets, facing each other, make sure you have the two pockets facing each other. I just want to show you which one. So once you have it facing each other, you just cut it out. I have a video on how to do that. Please indicate the crouch and the pocket, because the both of them will be looking the same, like they will look exactly the same. So once you have to join your crouch before cutting the skirt part, that is the pocket part for the skirt. Have to join both crouch. Then after joining, you just take your skirt and place on top. Make sure that everything aligns, the hip, the waist, make sure that it aligns very well. Then you turn the back of your skirt, the back of your shirt, just to get the um curve. So you just cut exactly the same thing, the pocket curve again. So this is what we have for the pocket. um and this is the how the pocket, how you are going to fix it. Well, I'll make another video on how to join it, because this video is already long. I'll be posting another video on how to join this. So I hope this video is very understandable, and if you don't have sorry, if you have any question, please make sure to